this is Laurel. Welcome to Big Joy Yoga, where we are melting yoga off the beaten path today. We are in New York City and sweating our clothes off, basically. It's like upper 90s today.
I heard it was over 100.
Is it over 100 right now? I know it was 104 yesterday for my Canadian friends. It's like 40 Celsius. So we're in Central Park, and is this the west side of Central Park?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close to the big lake. Anyway, we're gonna do some shins and calves today. We're gonna warm them up pretty good, and we're gonna stretch them out a whole lot. And if you're a runner, these would be good for you to partake in for sure. Okay, so first off, we're gonna do a pose. So I'm gonna be wiping because I'm sweating.
It is a hot one.
Sticking to me. So we're gonna do a pose that Julian, my son, made up. It's called Genie in a Bottle. It's an awesome pose actually, and it kind of strengthens all the leg muscles, especially the shins and the calves. So what you want to do is just find yourself a fairly level, hard surface and lower down and scooch your feet fairly close together so that your heels are up high when they're touching, okay? And you can have your hands down, or you can have your hands on a chair or something, or you can just try to balance. It's a bit of a balancing pose. Do something like this, like I'm always in meditation doing this. So belly button is up and in, tailbone tucked just a little bit, trying to get the balls of your feet as close together as possible. A little bit of balancing here. Be as tall as you can with your vertebrae. Good, deep breaths. If your knees can't handle this, do not do it. That's quite a bend for your knee joint, so skip this one. There's a lot of deep bends with the knees. Skip this segment if your knees are not so happy about that. But I will give you some modifications on some of the stretches here. And then just come on down and shake out your legs. And let the blood flow back to your toes. Okay, we're gonna do a modification of crow. So you want to come back up onto your feet, and this time take your feet a little bit wider and try to get your heels on the floor. Okay, this is really strengthening your shins here, stretching a little bit of the lower calf muscle soleus area. I'm going to do a deeper stretch later. I quite often get my students to stretch their inner thighs at the same time when they're doing this. Just put your hands together and press those knees out with your elbows just as far as you want to go, but that's optional. You can just lean on your thighs. There are certain cultures who just can squat like this for hours. Do you know what those cultures might be?
Well, Koreans are real good at that.
Koreans are really good at this.
Yeah, my uncle lives in Korea. He got good at it.
Yeah, he married a Korean woman, didn't he?
That's right.
That's right. I don't think I could handle it. I'm really glad you're not Korean at this point, because
I don't think it works for 6'4" people.
Yeah, James is 6'4". He towers over most people, so yeah, this is kind of tough. Okay, my shins are really screaming at me now, so if yours are talking to you, come on down, shake it out. All right. Get the blood flowing down there again. Now, a nice little shin stretch is just taking your feet and just pointing your feet with your legs straight. Keep your knees pretty straight here and just point. And it kind of gets a little bit of this going on. If this is hard for your back to sit up tall without using your arms, do use your arms. If there's a chair or a couch behind you, lean against that, it doesn't matter. There we go. Another shin stretch that you can do is you can just sit on your heels if you like. Your ankles have to be able to straighten this far. So that's, I have a friend, Gino. He used to be a back catcher for years, and he cannot do this. So because he just had his feet flexed for so long that he cannot straighten them out. So if you're like Gino, skip this one. Okay, and come on up and dust off. Okay, I'm going to do a balancing pose, which is a great warmer for both the shins and the calves. Any balancing pose will actually, while balancing on your feet, will actually really warm up your legs. And there's a link that you can click on for a lot more balancing poses. But I'm going to give you one, tree. All you're going to do is just balance on one leg and turn the other knee out to the side. Be really tall. Keep your tippy toes on the ground or lift them up a little bit. Or lift them way up. You can put your foot anywhere you like here. But basically you're balancing on one leg. So there's a lot of different balancing poses that you can do. Arms are anywhere you like. And breathe. Because you're holding this leg up, it looks like you're working this leg, but you're actually working this leg a whole lot more. Your shins and calves are working like crazy to hold you up. And switch. Take the other knee out to the side. Lift if you want. If you have difficulties with balance, you can keep the toes on the ground, or if there's a
wall.
I want to say table, I don't know why, but yeah, wall, thank you. Beside you, use it. But the more you use your balancing muscles, the more muscles that are being worked. So if you're using a wall or a chair or something, use it only as much as you need. Just use your fingertips or something. Don't, lean all the way onto it. The more you use these muscles, the stronger they get. And release. Okay. Another shin stretch you can do is point your toe backwards, straighten your knee out, and really point your foot as far back as you can. And if this gives you a little bit of discomfort in your lower back, tuck your tailbone under a little bit, and then switch.
Got the kids swinging in the background.
Yeah, we've got some squeaking in the background. We're right beside a park. All right, well, a
Swing set.
We are in a park, yeah. There's a swing set. There's fountains next door here where the kids are getting all wet. Thank goodness, cooling down in this heat. I'm really tempted to do that right now. And release. Okay, so we've done a lot of shin stretches. I'm going to give you some calf stretches and soleus, which is right above your heel. So here's a soleus stretch. Take one foot in front, one foot back, not too far back. Both feet point the same direction, and you just bend your knees, both knees, keeping that back heel down on the ground. If you lift your heel, you miss the stretch. So keep the heel right down, be nice and tall. This is an excellent stretch, sort of where the Achilles area is, right in here, the lower calf. And then switch. And make sure that back foot is pointing straight forward when you bend both knees. If the toe is pointing out to the side, you're going to miss a lot of that stretch. And so just tuck your foot in to make it easier to turn that toe straight forward. But if your feet are too close together, it's going to be hard to bend enough to get that stretch. So find your sweet spot. Pull your belly button up and in, just 'cause. Well, it's really hard for me to do that now. We just had a huge lunch at City Diner, just a couple blocks away from here, and I'm stuffed. It was so good. And release. Okay, a calf stretch, a little bit higher. This big muscle right here, gonna stretch that. So take one foot behind you, and again, make sure, this is super important, make sure that back foot is pointing straight forward. Points out to the side, you're gonna miss this whole stretch. Okay, so press that heel down into the ground, keep the back knee straight as you can, and lean on that thigh. So there's one stretch. It's the same stretch, but I find it gives me an even deeper, more challenging stretch, I guess. And a no-brainer stretch. Find a wall or a rock, and push against that rock or wall. Push away to help press that heel down into the ground. This is a good one. You'll feel that the stretch transfers down towards your heel again. Keep your knee really straight here. And then switch. Come to the other side. Either lean on that thigh or on a wall or something. Press that heel down into the ground. Make sure the back toes point forward. Look at them. They'll feel like they're pointing forward, but they may be actually out to the side. Honey, can you see that drip on the end of my chin?
Let me see if I can zoom in on that.
I don't know if you can see the drip on the end of my chin. Oh, it just went. There might be another one coming. My eyelids are sweating. Good, and let it go. Excellent, shake it out. I hope you enjoyed the segment today. Look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste. For more yoga off the beaten path, go to BigJoyYoga.com.